Tonight we are going to be running through the list for the Bush Bash Bonanza 2,000 point match play tournament here in sunny Bendigo this weekend. Now, this is officially flagged NSFW, not safe for work. And if you're watching on a shared computer, make sure you delete your internet history before your wife finds out what you've been watching. Because we are doing a list review and we have got some filth for you tonight. Yes, we do. And Joel, you should be laughing because you're one of the chief culprits.
Yeah, well, what can I say?
Yeah, you're going to see things tonight that can never be unseen. So joining me as always, we have our death expert, the more talk of the Australian bush, Luke, the Dark Prince Ingram. How are you going, Luke?
I'm very well. How are we all tonight?
Ready to rock. And joined as always and in the hot seat, our supreme leader, the overlord of measured gaming, Joel McGraw. How are you doing, Joel?
Very good. How are we?
Good, good. And our guest star tonight, fresh from his 4-1 success at Moab, Tristan Smith. How you doing, mate?
Getting good.
First time on the show. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right, then let's get into it. So what I'll do is just to start us off, let's have a little look at the pack for this one because it is our own house rules that we play it measured in terms of how we're doing the realm rules and that kind of thing. So I'll just bring that up on screen. Let's have a look. Where are we? Okay. So where have we gone? So we've got here the house rules. Joel, do you want to talk us through how we're doing the pack for this one?
Yeah, so pretty much we've gone out on our own and basically we've put all the extra shit that you get from all the new realm malign sorcery crap and basically just put it all into list building. So there's no randomness, there's no dice rolling required at the start of your games. Basically, wizards get to know one spell, one additional spell, either from their battle tome or from the realm that you've picked. You still get your artifacts and all that sort of stuff too. So, yeah, not playing with any of the, what do you call it, all the realmscape stuff. Yeah, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So you can check out the player pack there. If you go to the Bush Bash Bonanza Facebook page, there's a link there for it.
Yeah, it's look, I love the way that you've done the pack for this one because it's a really interesting list building challenge and a unique one. Look, all the realms are powerful; they've all got powerful stuff, but it's a real trade off. If you go Hish, great, you've got banishment, but you're missing out on the doppelganger cloak.
Oh,
Is that right? Yeah, the doppelganger. Okay. You want that Hish command trait, then you're missing out on the Sword of Judgment. You want to stack those +1s to hit and do 1,000,000 mortal wounds, then you're missing out on the Hish command trait that lets you pile in first. There's good stuff in all the realms, and it just gives you a real good toolkit, I think, to come up with some really strong combos. But it all comes at a cost. If you want this, it costs you that.
For sure.
For sure. So let's bring up the lists and get into it. You can all see that.
Can you zoom in a bit?
Yeah, here we go. Full screen mode. That's a bit better. So, starting off with the Death Grand Alliance, and I reckon, Luke, this is going to be your sphere of expertise. Now, looking at Max's list there, Max is a measured gaming stalwart, and he's bringing his Flesh Eater courts. Now, those Crypt Horrors, they're some of my favorite models in Age of Sigmar. They just look like horrifying beasts that can't get at you quick enough, charging at you headlong. I love those models. What do you think of the list, Luke? How does it look to you?
Rightio, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. It's certainly not following, I guess you call it, the traditional battalions that you'd see in most competitive lists. But look, it's basically made up of your pretty standard Ghoul King on Terrorgeist with the Majestic Horror. So he's going to be bringing 2 units in probably first or second turn, whether it'll be Flayers or Horrors. Now, what he's got the 2 battalions here. So basically, it looks like he's going to be running. It's about a free drop. There's lots of little movement shenanigans in here, so he can. One of his battalions will allow him to pile in the hero phase and not attack. Then he's got another battalion that's going to allow him to reform units. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he plays around it. Yeah, it's sort of not. I'm not seeing it as a very punchy list, but certainly going to be some little sneaky stuff in there.
I mean, Feck generally suffer from a lack of rend, don't they? He has got a little bit of mortal wounds there from his Quicksilver swords. But
And the flayers potentially as well.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Has he got a lot of summoning built in?
So it looks like there's mostly just the 2 units are free of the horrors or the flayers. And that looks like that's about it. The Vargulf and the Vargulf will bring some back. The Cryptghast Courtier will bring some back, but certainly not pushing it as hard as could be done.
Yeah, okay. So what's your verdict? A bit difficult to assess because it's so unusual.
It is unusual. I do think I reckon he'll struggle a little bit. But I mean, if he can make the most of these movement little tricks that he's got built in there, then look, he might be able to make it work for him.
Yeah, might catch someone out with some of these shenanigans. Good stuff. Now, Cameron Ritchie. Look, I love this list. This is awesome. Archon the Black, Nagash and Prince Vordry. 3 named characters, 0 artifacts, 0 fucks given. Love it. And I mean, looking at this, the first thing that I think is a quick game is a good game. What do you reckon? What do you make of this one, Luke?
There's really only one thing that's to me is going to happen here. Basically, Vordry is going to make Nagash pile in and attack twice. Vordry himself is going to charge forward. And, turn 1 and turn 2 is where the game's going to be done. And someone will come out on top. Yeah.
What do you make of this one, Tristan?
I like it. It's got a lot of melee punts. It's got Nagash and Arkin backing up spells.
Yeah.
And Cam he's known for getting those hand of dusts off. So you got a big
you had to bring that one up, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Did I mention that?
Yeah. Just for anyone who doesn't know, we had our club championship a couple of weeks ago, and it was me and Cam head-to-head for a spot on the podium, and he handed-dusted me right off it. Backhanded dusted me. Yeah.
Did you get your battalion rules though?
Yeah, I think honestly I would love to play against this army. It looks like so much fun, and I love killing Archon. Yeah.
I actually had the pleasure of versing Cam the other day. I think at the end of turn 3 there was 3 models left on the table.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it looks great. Looks like a lot of fun. So moving on to Michael Thompson. He's coming down from Rockhampton. Good on you, mate. Bringing his battle line direwolves with him. Another Nagash list we'll have here. A little bit more Unbuilt Spell Portal fun times. And he's coming at you from Akshi. What do you think of this one, Joel? What do you make of this?
I really like it. I've actually got Michael as a grudge for round 1 as well. And I'll say now, I was secretly shitting bricks when I saw his list. What has he got? 50 of those bloody Revenants?
The Reapers, yeah.
Reapers, yeah. They're scary. And he's also picked the Akshi Law, so Realm of Fire spells. They could be doing 2 damage each with +1 to wound. That's frightening.
Yeah, a lot of stopping power in there. What do you think of it, Luke?
Well, I reckon if he can get on top of Joel in the first round, I reckon he'll be on the podium. I do quite like this list.
It's an interesting one because you've got two really solid players going at each other there. It's not like neither of them have took on an easy grudge to try and get a cheeky win. One of them's going to be submarine and one of them's going to be flying high. Yep,
and there's by the time he buffs up those 50 Grimghast Reapers, but particularly probably the 30 with obviously the Stoke Rage and the Inferno Blades. Obviously, he's still got Nagash doing his thing. Battle Shock's not going to be a thing until Nagash is dead. He's got plenty of healing there. If he doesn't want the Inferno Blades for whatever reason, he's still got the Van Hels there. There's, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough list.
It's also important to note that Nagash knows those spells that those necromancers and stuff do.
Yep.
So, you're getting all those buffs off. Yeah. He needs to die turn 1. All I can say is, Michael, I know you're probably listening to this. We're going to be spending a lot of time at the bar because it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, if we were streaming, I reckon that one would be on the camera, wouldn't it? Game 1. That'd be a good game. That'd be a good game. Now, Luke, looking at your list there, that's a lot of ghosts, mate.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm still painting them.
better get busy. You only got a couple of days.
That's correct. No, there's been a few late nights, and they'll continue on for a little bit longer. No, look, my list, basically, it's taking a pretty standard Shroud Guard concept, and I've basically tried to build some reliability into it. Hence why I've taken the Pen and the Thelwind. I've taken the cogs. I've got the couple of command points up my sleeve. So basically, I'm looking for the 7-inch rerollable charges, and basically the ability to get rerolls on the charges, because I really need to get those blade geists in. If I don't get them in and I fall on my backside and don't make it, I'm in a lot of trouble. But I've only had one game with this list so far. It's didn't go too well for me. I probably got a bit greedy. But look, proof of concept. I think it'll take a bit of work to get used to it. But so one little thing I do want to point out, which comes from the player pack. So Lady Olinda is using the Realm spell Mirror Pool. Basically as a way of getting to any backfield unit. So yeah, just an example of using the player back and obviously making the most of those Realm rules.
So tell me how Mirror Pool works.
Basically, it's a spell. If cast, then I'll get to pick up Lady Olinda. Shifter should be 18 inches. Still has the ability to move and shoot and charge. So basically giving a 20+ inch threat range to something in the backfield.
So
and obviously fly as well.
It's a melee army, and that's your range, is teleporting her and moving again.
Correct. And the other positive, obviously, it is an army of very fragile characters. So it basically means that I can leave her right on the backboard edge and then actually still have a way of getting her into the field when I need her.
She's such a cool war scroll. Like, yeah, they really knocked it out of the park with that. Powerful, got a lot of utility, but also got its weaknesses. It's a real think as piece, that one, I think. And I'll just put it out there for anyone who plays Luke. Take your time to have a good look at his army. He is an exceptional painter, one of the best around. His Lady Olinda is outstanding. I was lucky enough to play against Luke's Undead at the club championships, and great bloke, great opponent. You'll have a fantastic match. And yeah, like I said, do take the time to look at his models, because I know he puts a lot of time into his hobby, and that army will be done to a very, very high standard. I guarantee it. What do you reckon, Tristan? Do you like Luke's army or not? Be honest. I know you will.
I haven't played it yet, but I've played a couple of 9-hunt lists with the list I'm running, and honestly, I don't see much challenge in my list.
So okay. Yeah, no.
Hey, round 2,
Shots
please.
fired already.
It's nothing personal. It's just the 2 9-hunt lists I played were basically on the same lines, and
you know you can handle it.
Yeah,
you know from experience you can handle it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tristan, for that list that you took to Sydney and went 4-1 with, there was a bit of chatter around social media beforehand. People saying that it was a list tailored to take on Daughters of Cain, and that all it could beat was Daughters of Cain.
It would be a lot. Now
you tell me, you won 4 of your 5 games. How many of those 4 wins were against Daughters of Cain?
None.
There we go. You handled Nighthaunt twice, I think.
Nighthaunt twice, Skellies once, and a Chaos Warrior Blob Gore Pilgrim. So
when you say you can handle a Nighthaunt army, that's coming from experience, yeah?
Yeah, faced them twice. One was a major win, and one was a minor loss.
Well, we're not seeing as much Nighthaunt in these lists so far as what I was expecting. We're not done yet, though. We'll move on to the next page.
Oh, actually, no. Sorry, one was a major loss, one was a major win.
Okay, 1 and 1, but both big ones. Now, still on death, we've got Matthew Terrell. For those of you who don't know, we'll have Harry and Negan in Australia at the moment paying us a visit, and they have been in Dubbo today. Now, Matthew Terrell is the mayor of Dubbo, so he's had a bit on his hands. So if this list has been put together quickly and paint's a bit slapped on, it's because he's been taking care of his civic duties. I'm sure it all went off without a hitch. He was there in his robes with a big medal around his neck. Do you reckon he'll be
Took them to
walking
the zoo.
away with a measured medal around his neck after this one? He's running vampire lords. Bit of redundancy in his necromancers there, just in case. What do you think of this one, Joel?
This list, what's he got? Sorry, I need to pull up my phone to have a quick. What do we got? So, Vampire Lord, Unrendable. That's nasty.
Yeah.
If they get stuck in the stuff, they hit hard. He's got a whole heap of chaff, a couple of fast units. I actually really like this list, and I've had the displeasure or pleasure, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same shit. Versing Matt, he decided to grudge me at Ardfist when I was taking Warherds. So it was an easy win for you, mate. But yeah, all the best on home turf. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you're right about the ethereal amulet there, because when you look at what artifacts can do for a unit, there's the flying one on the Frost Lord's a very popular one because he's fast but he can't fly. Some models take choppy ones, but the zombie dragon, the only thing that stopped him being an absolute force to be reckoned with was that he was reasonably easy to kill when you started hitting him. His save wasn't amazing. But yeah, that ethereal amulet covers the one chink in his armor. And yeah, it's
for sure.
It's a real tough cookie to crack. Yeah, he'll do well, won't he? We all think Matt will do well with that list.
Yeah, he's not a bad player. Doesn't he have you turn round one, Tristan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a grudge, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What do you make of this one then, Tristan? You fancy your chances?
Very much so.
Fight and talk. You're not
I said to him earlier, if he loses this game against Matt, he's buying drinks for the rest of the weekend. So,
look, honestly, the list, he's got good punts on the Lord, but the Necros and the Vamp are dead meat. He doesn't have enough chaff to scream or counterpunch, and he doesn't really have any end on a second assault unit. So any armor that he comes across, he's relying on the Vampire Lord to do the punching. Yeah, any ranged or mortals that he comes across are going to really hamper him.
So there you go. It's in the bag. Easy
win.
All depends on dice rolls, but yeah, I'm fairly confident.
Fight and talk. I like it. Next up, Dave Cunnan. Now, Dave designed the layout for this PDF, so thanks, Dave.
I just want to actually take a quick moment to say thank you, Dave, for everything that you've done on the lead up to this tournament, mate. You've been a fucking blessing. So we're happy to have you on board.
And he's a major asset to the club. Yeah,
asset
to the club. Yeah, great bloke. So, yeah, echoing what Joel said, everyone's really grateful for all the work you put in. We've got Lady Olinda again. Tell me, what does a Cairn Wraith do?
Cheap, expendable hero, unnamed. You can put an artifact on.
So Slitter, do we know what Slitter does?
Yes, I do.
Sorry, Luke, go for it.
Basically, if you roll greater than the wounds characteristic, slay a model, and then watch the rest of the unit disappear from battle shock.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so it's anti-horde. Yeah.
It'll be there to play with coherency in the second edition.
Yep.
Just a cheap roll. And yeah, if it gets into a unit with big bases, for example, those crypt horrors and so forth before, if it can slay that model in the middle, then half a unit will disappear and he'll pay for himself pretty quickly.
Death have got the best names for the religion stuff, haven't they? Like Aura of Dark Majesty. That's fantastic, isn't it? Sorry, Tristan, what were you saying there?
Slitter will also work for assassinating heroes too. Those 4 or 5 wound heroes you keep in your back line, Cairn Wraith can fly over to them, combat on a 5 or 6 up, bang,
pop them.
Hero's dead.
Yeah, not to be trifled with. And what about the battalion, the Condemned? What's that doing for them? Basically,
rerolls for the chain rasps. Pretty sure it's to hit. Yeah.
So he's got a lot of bodies. He's got some threats. Heroes may be a little bit vulnerable.
I actually
agree there.
with my Stormcast, and the heroes, they lasted. Heroes and the Grimghast lasted a fair while.
Okay. Yep. Okay. What do you think, Joel? Are you having this?
Yeah, it's a lot of unrenderable shit, isn't it?
Yep.
Nighthorn are surprisingly resilient, not only because they are in fact unrenderable, but because they've also got the death saves too. So, yeah, I actually rate his list highly, and he's a pretty decent player, so he's shown.
So top
I
death's
reckon
going to be. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, top death is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, most of the list we've seen there that you're going to have an interesting running for it, aren't you? There's some challenges.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's our pick for top death? Are we sticking our necks out?
Oh,
Michael.
Yeah, I'm going to say Michael.
I'd love to say myself, but I think I'm sticking.
Yeah, I'm going to be the odd one out then and go with you, Luke. I like your list, and I think it's got a lot of tools to do well.
I reckon you said that last time, didn't you?
If I keep saying it, it'll happen one day, won't it? Just keep throwing
Eventually.
darts, one day I'll hit a bullseye.
I'll keep trying.
Yeah. So some strong representation from death there. Let's move on to chaos. Now, Patrick Nevin, I looked at your list. I saw Mazaral the Butcher. I thought that's amazing. You're a great bloke. You know, I think we've got on well. We've had many a good battle over the time, some close ones. And when I looked at this list, I just wanted to say those three little words: fuck right off. You've got a wizard in a corn army. We're done. Nothing more to say about that.
If I recall correctly, he's always said that he will never do it.
Yes, he has.
You know,
He's
he
said, I'm going to die on this hill. And here we are, sold out.
Fucking useless.
Fucking useless. Dalton, the Ether Quartz brooch there, he's got a couple of extra command points in his pocket as well. So he's going to have command points coming at you left and right. Now, I'm sure he's got more plans to do with them. Dalton's obviously a great list writer, knows the game inside out. He's probably going to be planning to do more with them than just keep his Chaos Marauders on the board. What's Dalton's plan for all those command points, Tristan?
Stacking his plus wound buff.
Where's that coming from?
It's coming from his Chaos Lord, I believe.
Yep. So +1 to charge and +1 to hit when they charge or some shit.
Okay. So he's lost his Plague Crutch Warband, which he was doing well with last year, but he's come out with something equally as ugly to face, has he?
Yeah. So who the fuck would actually want to play against 100 Chaos Marauders? Dalton, you're a cunt.
And it's not just 100 Marauders; it's 20 Knights as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of wounds. That's a lot of wounds with a lot of extra saves.
Yeah. They're a sleeper unit, those Knights, because he does so well with them. You don't see him that much, but when Dalton runs him, he does so well with them. And yeah, you've got the save after save from the War Shrine on top of that. They're going to take some shifting.
The downside to his list is he's going to have to tag all his ores into the units. Like they're not wholly within, but the Harbinger is only 7 inches. The War Swine's a little bit bigger, but with the Knights being so mobile, the good chance if he does run them out, they can be pretty much
outside of the aura.
Good enough.
Yeah. Now his trait, when Nurgle first dropped, everyone seemed to be taking the manipulate the wheel trait, but that seems to have dropped out of favour a little bit. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's Avalanche of Rotten Flesh doing? Is that an aggro command trait?
I've actually got no idea. I think it might keep the Harvey alive for a bit longer, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Dalton doesn't pick this stuff at random, so you'll have something planned for it. Yeah. So Dalton, I'm sure you'll do well, and I'll sure you'll be a pain in the arse to play against because that list is going to take some moving, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Alex Orr with his Zinj. I actually had the pleasure of facing this army, or a very, very similar one, last week. Had a brilliant game. One of those real nail biters. Went down to the bottom of turn 5. It's a pretty punchy build with a load of change and Kairos in there, both. And then he's got, I always find, look, they're the headline, they're the eye catchers, but the power it seems for me is usually the battle line, because those pink horrors at 200 points. I know they've gone up a lot, but you get the summoning built in now. They're such a strong battle line unit and capture objectives in this. The wizards to capture objectives too.
Yep.
Yep. Those acolytes at 80 points, they're a snip. They're a bargain. The only thing I'm not sold on is the Mutilith Vortex Beast. I'm not sure it pulls its weight.
He had a couple of options to add in for the Vortex Beast. He had points left over, and I think he just went for something a bit more fun because he's not playing to win. He's just playing to have a good time, and at BadgerCon he got best sports, so that really goes to show.
Great player to play against for sure. The thing with Zinj, you have to sit through that magic phase, and it is just so soul destroying with all those mortal wounds coming at you. But then when you
especially if they get the double turn,
sitting through two of them, it's horrific. But then when you get into them in combat, you just rip them up like paper. It's so satisfying taking them all off the board. So you're on that Zinj roller coaster. It's a lot of fun. What do you think of this one, Luke?
Look, I quite like it. Basically, for anyone trying to hit him, if they don't get where they need to be and they get caught in the horrors, they're not going anywhere. He's obviously got a very, very strong magic phase, shooting attacks and so forth with mortals. So anyone that can't handle a mortal are obviously going to be in a bit of strife. It looks like a really fun list, actually, both to play and to play against.
Yeah,
I find it.
For sure. And Joel, now there's two things I don't like about your list.
What's that?
Those Hellstriders.
Yeah.
I don't like that you seem to think that the Enrapturing banner stacks. And the
Well,
bit that I really hate
does.
about it, the bit that I really don't like, is that you're absolutely fucking right. I wish you weren't, but you are. There's a bit of controversy about it, but let's just get it out there. The wording of it, there is an any in the sentence, which makes some people short circuit. The any is per unit. On a per unit basis, it's any.
Yeah, it's any model
unit, it stacks.
with a unit with the banner is basically how it's.
So unit by unit, it stacks. It's horrible for combat armies to face because it's within 6 inches, but you can't fight them without being in 6 inches. And we're pretty much in a combat meta. That's what we've seen so far, at least. Do you want to talk us through this one, Joel, or do you want to throw it over to the others to say what they think about it?
No, I'll do a quick rundown. So, chosen Seekers just for the extra movement. Basically, my army's all about hitting fast and hitting hard. So, you got Big Tits there, the Exalted Greater Demon. She's got the Thermal Rider cloak. So, with cogs as well, she's going 22 inches with fly, +4 to her charge. She's backboarding. Doesn't matter what battle plan. And she's piling and attacking twice, one after the other. So she's hitting like a freight train, especially with all the actually spells. Archaon's in there just to be the second wave, depravity point farming, killing stuff which is unrendable, like a Durthu or a Vampire Lord or a Zombie Dragon kind of thing, with the ethereal amulet, basically. The Hellstriders, so backing up Big Tits with that sort of big alpha, because they're just as quick as what she is, probably faster. And the idea is just to send her in with them just to make her impossible to actually kill, unless if you have a lot of spells.
You've got Gaunty a Balewind still.
That was a late addition to the list. I'm really scared of spooky skeletons. Basically, with this list, I don't have a lot of attacks just across the board. And if you're got high rend though, so if you're negating all that rend, then you're negating a lot of my damage as well. So that's what Gaunty's in there for, just to make a hole in the front line. So Big Tits can just get in there and wreck the face.
Now the missions have been announced for this. Do we have any of the ones where wizards capture?
Yes. So we're using 5 of the new 6. And for those listening at home, we're doing all but shifting objectives.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. So, Archaon's a real asset in that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have fun moving my 20-win wizard with a 3-up save.
Yeah. Real 5-up, yeah. Yep.
Only a 3-up save?
Yeah, he's got a 3-up. With the Source Lord, he just hands out a free Mystic Shield, so he's got a 3-up rerolling 1 in most cases.
And he's got that eye of Sheehan making you re-roll hits against him.
Yeah, so roll a d6, whatever that is. I can make my opponent re-roll them if I want to.
Yeah.
And then he's also got his 4-up shrug off the effects of a spell. So Hand of Dust, don't care on a 4-up. It's pretty good. I don't know why people don't run Arcane more often. He's a bloody beast. But not for the reasons, not for just being a beat stick, but just for being survivable, I suppose.
Yeah, people, I think you're right. People never stop complaining about his lack of rend, which is true. But not every big monster has to be a cannonball.
No.
Yeah, you've found a way to make him work in your list that makes him really powerful for sure. Yeah. Now, moving on. This is a proper corn list. Corey,
I love this.
No go
Ripped
Pilgrims.
straight off the internet. Doesn't even matter. It's fucking awesome.
No go Pilgrims. And the only thing that's better than 3 Bloodthirsters in a Council of Blood is 4 Bloodthirsters. Corey Ford, you were born to corn. Love it. What do you think about this one, Tristan?
I reckon this is a good list for him, especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plays to his strength, plays to what... Yeah, he's punch, and he's got punch.
It might be the most aggressive list I've ever seen.
100% of the army is going to be in your face. It's So I'm pretty sure the Blood Hunt Battalion gives them an extra D6 move at the start of the game or in every hero phase or something. All the Bloodthirsters get to use their command abilities for 1 command point. They all affect the Flesh Hounds because they're all corn demons as well. It's fucked.
Yeah.
It's like you want synergy in the list. This is how you do it with corn.
Yeah. I would love to play this list. I played a similar one at the Club Champs, and Corey doesn't piss about. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Gaia Strike as well. Nice little aggro. Aggro fact there. Yeah.
Popping those AoE mortals on a 5-up instead of a 6.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, good shout. So yeah, good on you, Corey. Tom Smart. Do we know much about Tom?
Yeah, he came to the 30-man 1K tourney earlier in the year with Skaven, and he's also been to the 40K club champs the other week at the club. So, great opponent. Loves his, I think he calls it friendly and sort of fluffy armies. So he's not much of a competitive gamer, but I think he's going to have fun. He's got 100 clan rats in that list. There's not 100 marauders, but it's 100 clan rats. They're just as much of a pain in the ass. He's got a few cheeky mortals coming through as well.
Yep. Luke, you're a Skaven guy. What do you think of this? You've played some Skaven in your time. Yeah,
look, I'm not going to say it's necessarily the most competitive list that I've ever seen, but it certainly looks like a fun one. I am a fan of the Hell Pit Abominations. It's just something about them that's always made me think, geez, I'd love to run 4 of them. Warp Lightning Cannons, obviously they're pretty swingy. They can do a lot of work. I've got 3 of them myself, and I'd certainly consider running a build around them. Obviously you've got the Packmaster to buff the Rat Ogres. Look, I don't know if it's necessarily, it won't be anywhere near the top tables, but no, I reckon it's going to be a fun list. I reckon everyone's going to enjoy playing against it, and if he's a good opponent, it should be a bit of fun.
Good times. Good on you, Tom. Now this next one, Legion of Asgore, this caught my eye. I've had the pleasure of playing against Sean's Legion recently. They are so much fun to play against. They've got a lot of tools in the army. You've got some centerpiece models. You've got chaff. You've got Ren, left, right, and center. Mortal Wound. Great weapons teams. They've got a bit of everything, and they really are a lot of fun to play against. I found when I played against them, I found the generic Bull Centaur Taruk to be a force to be reckoned with. Drazorath the Ashen, maybe not as much, not as good as what his model looks like he should be. But for me, the best part of any Legion army is those magma cannons. They are amazing. Just on a 1 for people who don't know, on a 1 or 2 they do nothing. On a 3-up they do that many mortal wounds. So every roll of the dice is an absolute roller coaster of emotions for both players. They are so fucking fun. What about you, Tristan? You played against the Dowies all much?
Yeah, I've played a couple of games against Sean, and you are right. Those magma cannons are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing. It's that because it's an actual ability rather than a shooting thing. Can't be negged. So yeah, 3 ups, 8 mortals.
Yeah. And how about you, Luke? Have you had a look at this list? What do you think of this one?
Yeah, look, I will admit I don't know a lot about it.
Yep.
One thing that actually stood out to me is that he's allying in the Zangor Shaman with the Wildfire Taurus spell.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to know. I was looking at, what's he got that there for? It took me a little bit to figure out that it's for the Endless spell, and I thought that was a nice little touch to the army, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you look at the Zango Shaman and you're looking for the Skyfires, aren't you? But yeah,
I was, yes.
Yeah. Now, the Kadai Fireborn, they're pretty good at clearing crowds. They've got a large volume of attacks, but not a lot of rend. Do we think
D3
three's
damage,
enough?
though.
Is 3 a big enough unit?
No, I think the optimal's like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say, too, this army is beautifully painted. It's going to be a contender for best painted.
Oh, you've seen this?
Photos. Oh, yeah, I've seen photos. Yeah, it's very nice. Reese has done a good job.
That's good. I look forward to seeing the pictures. So that's Kale Stone. Who's our picks from Chaos?
Koi.
Yeah.
Koi and Joel.
Yeah.
Between Corey and Joel for me.
It's a tough one. There's a lot of good corn lists. I think Dalton's going to do really well.
Yeah,
Also not going to discount Pat.
True.
Yeah, this is a soft list for him though, compared to what he normally takes in the wood chipper. So we'll see how he can play it, I suppose.
He'll have a trick up his sleeve.
Mm.
He's got the realm of shadow, so don't be surprised.
Yeah,
walk up in the back line.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who haven't played with a lot of the realm stuff before are going to get a really big surprise when you've got bloodthirsters and all that shit deep striking off the table edge.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's powerful, but all the realms are powerful, and everyone's got access to it. So yeah, I think
whether they know about it or not, it's a different story, though.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
It's really like Bear. You're building your own all-star list. You get to pick all the best players from all the best teams and put it all into one team, and yeah, it really changes things up.
Yeah, and I think Joel's hit the nail on the head. You cannot afford to forget this shit. It is so game changing. You can't afford to forget that you've got these things that you wouldn't normally have on your list.
Yeah, and to everyone who is listening who doesn't play with a lot of the realm stuff, the sooner you get onto it, the better, because I can guarantee you in a year or two, everyone is going to be using it. So get on it. It's good shit.
It is good shit. It adds a lot to the game.
It does.
So that's
Moving on to order. Yep.
Well, alphabetically, it's destruction next.
Oh, wait.
You want to do the honours, Tristan, and tell them where the destruction lists are at?
Yeah. We don't have any.
We don't have any. I guess probably because there's cheaper ways to humiliate yourself. But yeah, now we're in a state of about 7 million people here in Victoria. Is this the second AOS GT in a row with no destruction?
Yes.
The Blue Dragon? Yeah. And basically I've missed a couple, and if I don't go, there's basically no destruction there, is the way it looks at the minute.
People are just smarter not to fucking play them, I suppose.
It looks that way, doesn't it? Who would blame it? I guess that's a topic for another show, but there's no destruction players there.
Next week's show, where is destruction gone?
Yeah, brings a little green tear to my eye.
And why do we care?
Yeah, well.
What's that?
And why do we care?
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to order. Tyson's bringing his eels, more eels, and then some eels. The Idnet Deep can love the models. actually, what I would say about them in general, I don't know this list in particular. I think in wargaming there can be a bit of a rush to say that if something's got a specific strong play style, that it's not engaging or that it's not fun to play against. And I have heard some comments about the IDNF Deepkin with that, and I could not disagree more. I think they are fun to play against. I think they offer a unique challenge, and if you're willing to think about that challenge and address that challenge, there is things you can do about it, and it'll give you a really unique game, and quite often a close game if you tool up for it properly. If there was two mates and one of you had an IDNF army, and that was the only armies that you had, yes, that might get tedious after a while. But at an event, I'd happily play 1 in 5 games against them. I love them. I think they're great.
I agree with you there. I reckon they're an out of the box kind of army. They just play so differently to your traditional sort of fantasy army, don't they?
Yeah. What do you think about Luke? Luke, are you a fan? Are you not a fan? You can say that you think they're bullshit if you like it.
Well, I've never played against the Oddnef, so yeah, I'd obviously be lying if I really said I knew exactly what was going on here. Obviously, it looks like a very typical build for when you hear about tournament lists. Obviously, with lots and lots of eels, obviously ways to buff them and get them in there. Obviously, I'm expecting something that's going to be very fast, and yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do if I come up against him.
Yeah. Screen and pray?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Look, with this army, with the eels, a lot of it's unrendable, but if you charge them, then they lose like a point of stave. Yeah. So when they do charge, they go to a 3-up. If they don't, they got a 4-up. Yeah, look, honestly, when I see an eel heavy deepkin list, I just think, oh, that's a Slanesh player's wet dream. Just all those depravity points. It's 3 depravity per eel. That should be a fun game.
On your mind.
Yep.
Tristan, you and Tyson, you both went to Blue Dragon GT, and I think you guys, you played each other, didn't you? How did you find Tyson to play against?
We couldn't be bothered playing the third game, so he rolled off for it. And after that, we built that list for him.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so you did a bit of a discussion on this one with Tyson at the time.
Yeah, we spent a good 2.5 hours going through the list.
So what are the heroes doing for him?
His big hero is fairly nasty and fairly utilitarian. And the other one is buffing. It was a while ago, so I can't remember specifics, but he will be ending up and deep striking off a board edge with a unit of eels. And he's got 2 softer casters in there as well. Mainly, it's going to be eels. And what we don't need to forget is his terrain piece. That terrain piece is going to be buffing the shit out of him.
Yeah, okay. So next question, how did it take you 2.5 hours to say take loads of eels?
Well.
Fair enough. So next up, we've got Charles Black with his Sylvaneth. I don't know Charles personally, but I'm aware from around the traps that he was a top tier Warhammer Fantasy Battle player. I didn't play Fantasy Battle myself, but he's been playing Kings of War, I believe, and he's come back to Age of Sigmar with a bang.
Won his first event, Brishammer, yep.
Yep. So good on you, Charles. Congratulations on the big win. Running a Dreadwood, which is already a very prominent JH18 build. I think the battalions themselves, 90 points and 90 points as for a big battalion, that's a real snip. And then the Spite Revenants, 70 points each. Basically, everything's very, very affordable, which means you can afford to take the big shit, which he has with Durthu and Alariel, and then you get to summon all your scoring units for free from your Branch Wraith and Alariel spitting out 20 Dryads. What's not to love? What do you think? What do you think, Tristan? Would you handle this one with your mortal wound output?
Yeah, the unrendable Durthu is a pain, but with a lot of stuff, mortals will eat these unrendable stuff.
Yeah, you just bypass the save altogether.
I think the tip for this list is screening and taking the first punts. Because as far as I can see and what I've read up on the Dreadwood, it's a glass cannon. Like, if they will fuck you up first turn, but if you're not fucked up enough first turn and you've got enough strength behind your punts back, you can really fuck him up.
I think, everyone knows that Durthu's output drops off a cliff when you chip a few wounds off him. He goes from straight 6 damage to D6 after 3 wounds. But then that's where regrowth comes in. So if you can't one-shot a Lariel, Durthu's going to just keep topping up. Unless you can one-shot him with your mortals, which I think your army probably could, yeah?
Yeah, what I like the list, but I was doing the figures. It's 33 bodies on the field first turn.
A Lariel's spitting out another 20.
Yeah, but that's your shit button. And if you're pushing that early in the game, then you've got 3-4 turns left that you can't hit the button when you absolutely need it. If you do,
that's true. I mean, the Branch Wraith is summoning another 10 as well. But yeah.
Well, the Branch Wraith that's like, I'm going into this thinking every 5 wound hero is fair game. If you can snipe 5 wound hero off, then you're doing that no matter what. The Branch Witch really have to be careful where you place her. Good thing with Slivness is the line of sight blocking, but you lose that. If you lose 5 wounds to a Branch Witch, half your casting or half your healing's gone, and then you're just relying on Alariel and Durthu to carry you.
Yeah, it is a good list, like you said. Sylvaneth traditionally have had a vulnerability to armies with a lot of mortal output, and I don't think that's changed, has it?
No.
And from a counterpoint of view, obviously with a completely different Christians, I'm looking at this with basically what I'm setting up as an alpha type army. He's going to outdrop me, and he's basically forcing me to fight him in the trees. If I want to get to the objectives, I've got to move into the trees to take him off him. So I could see myself having a lot of trouble with this list. Not to mention he's got the Kurnoffs to try and pick off the light heroes. So, yeah, I can see it being a bit of a challenge for a lot of lists out there.
Yeah.
And also, the note being, those Kurnoffs are also blocked from line of sight in those trees as well. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. And what's the ruling on Wildwoods for placing around the tree circles for this event?
Don't think you can enter them. Not 100% sure.
Okay.
Can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Generally, you can't enter the tree circles.
Yeah. You can take them out for ease of movement, but nothing can actually be in the circle.
Yep. Yeah. Personally, I don't like that. And the reason is purely from a selfish point of view. I tend to run a lot of flying monsters on big bases. So kind of rules as written, they should be able to move on top of the trees and sit there.
So instead of taking the trees out and leaving the holes there, you put the trees in and then set your model on top of the trees.
Oh, yeah. I'd be happy with that. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's how you want to do it.
Yeah.
Flying cabbage.
Now, I'm just thinking from your point of view, Joel, you've probably got a couple of monsters on big bases as well that you might struggle to move things out of Wildwoods.
Look, Archaon's got no hope, but the Exalteds are on really small bases for what they do. So they're on like the same base size as a Kale's not, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Oh, well, there you go then. Yeah, maybe not so much.
She can fit through the real narrow part of the woods.
Oh, well, there you go then, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fine. She's your main damage piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, I just want to say one thing about this list before we move on as well.
Yeah.
I don't know Charles personally, so this isn't directed at you at all, but I really don't understand how the Dreadwood's been doing so well. When I look at it, because I used to play Sylvaneth back in the day, and I just look at it and I see, there's 20 models with a 5-up save, which have no rend. Sure, they got mobility like Sylvaneth do, but so kudos for being able to win tournaments with it, but I don't know how you've done it, and I hope you can show me on the weekend how you did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been doing consistently well in the UK as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I just don't understand why.
I mean,
are people not taking test screens anymore?
The Spike Revenants get rid of them, though, don't they? Because they spit out mortal wounds from the outcasts, and then the -2 to bravery as well. So I think you use the Spike Revenants to scare everything away, and then you hit with your Durthu and Alariel.
look, battle shock happens after everything's attacked, so that unit's going to be that screening unit that you put down to absorb 5 units charging you. They're going to die anyway, so who gives a shit? But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see this in action because I haven't seen it played before, but I just don't understand how it's doing so well.
Yeah, I think as well you've got to be able to screen in 360 degrees, don't you? Because the teleport from Dreadwood's only 6 inches away, so it's not that hard to get in.
No,
and you've got the option of moving at them across the deck with the D3 units. So yeah, you're right. Like you can screen it, but you've got to have a lot of chaff and be able to screen the full circle. But yeah,
look, 20 Marauders are only 120 points.
True. But yeah, I mean, Charles has obviously made it work, so I'm sure he'll have some good insights for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. That he's going to do well, but just from a personal point of view, I don't understand how Dreadwood does so well. Anyway, let's move on because I could talk about how I don't understand or not.
So Ben Seraphon, a bit different to what I've seen him run before. What do you think of this one, Luke? You've run a lot of Seraphon.
Yeah, look, I'm looking at it as a list. It doesn't look like it has a massive amount of damage output. Obviously, he's got all the Saurus Knights in the battalion. He's got the Shadow Strike Star Host there as well. And it's obviously all put together in the Dracothian's Tail. The 15 Knights by themselves are going to do a bit of damage. But look, what I'm really seeing about this is it looks like a difficult list to play. But if Ben can play it really well, there's going to be a lot of tricks in it. So he's got the Bridge of Shadows from the Ugu Lore to get an extra teleport. He's obviously got the teleporting from the actual Seraphon Allegiance itself. It's a list that can do a lot. I just think it's up to a case of how well can he play it.
Not often you see 3 battalions in a list these days.
But yeah, he's got the free extra command points there. He's obviously he's got the Slan in charge, so there's a little bit of summoning there. He's got the Astrolith Bearer with the Doppelganger, possibly just to help keep it safe for a little bit longer if he's got something else that can come and protect it. Yeah, I think there's some good stuff there. I'd like to see how he's going to play it.
The Saurus Scar veteran going hero hunting with his Sword of Judgment.
Yep.
Yeah. No, those would be good games to watch. Seraphon always are. They're always exciting games. Yep. So moving on next, apparently shooting's dead in AOS 2. I don't think Lemon got the memo.
He sent me. He'll never watch this, but he sent me a screenshot via email of his list that he took to BadgerCon. So since BadgerCon, which was in June, to now, we've had a new General's Handbook released and all their points have changed. He has no fucking idea. But I think he did pretty well with them. He only got to play the one day, but I think he won 2 of his games. I can't remember now. But yeah, so even for an old bloke, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Got a lot of shooting, and with a lot of these armies, pivotal heroes, they can disappear real quick. A boatload of gun balloons and gun arcanauts with chemists. You get some good dice rolls, and your hero block that you've got doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think, especially in Australia, because no one really got around to running it. The clown car's not dead in our meta. In the UK, people are signing them off, like Gary Percival, who, you could say has the original clown car. He's put all his up on eBay now, but never really got to see it a whole lot in Australia. So it's still going to catch people off guard, I think. And if he plays all right, then he has the potential of doing well.
And one cheeky trick, I don't know if Steve's aware of this himself, but he knows what the Ether Shock Airbuster does. It makes him take an immediate battle shock test. That might come in useful for getting rid of Lookout, sir. If you can clear off the unit that's standing nearby immediately, because it's an immediate battle shock test, you might be able to bypass Lookout, sir, that way.
For sure.
The only issue he's got with it is he's got it on the general. So it's only on a pistol weapon.
Yeah, people usually put it on the chemist, yeah.
Yeah, try Bull on Chemist. Try get a bit of range on it to actually do that for initial battle shock to try clear that up.
Mm.
But look, it's gonna if he gets it off after a good softening, and that's the thing, he will have to watch his sequencing. If you sequence that first, it won't be as effective as sequencing it after a unit after it's already taken losses.
Mm. So he's got the ability to do well still. Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Nick Hoon, Dwellers Below, he brought his Seraphon to BadgerCon, is that right?
Yep.
What's this build, Luke? Is this a summoning build?
There is a bit of summoning in there. Now, I'm not going to say anything bad about this list. I believe he's for BadgerCon. His list was talked in as an old school list that would be ineffective these days, and he did very well.
Yeah, he came fourth or fifth, I think.
Yeah, and looking at this, there's still a lot of tricks. He's got the Shadow Strike Star Host in there. He's still got lots and lots of skink units. He's got the Evocators. He's got the Comet. The Engine of the Gods is there to do some summoning. He's got the Slan there. Yeah, personally, I don't exactly see what his plan's going to be, but yeah, he'll have something. He'll have something there.
Hashtag innovation.
It'd be a sneaky list.
He's done the same thing that we saw with the Legion of Asgore, hasn't he? He's allied in a wizard, which also happens to be an amazing unit in its own right, to get access to the Endless spell.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a powerful little allies block, isn't it? Evocators and the Comet.
Yeah. If you leave your objective there, he'll steal it.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, got all the tools to do well, we think?
Definitely.
For sure. And, not even talking about him personally, he's just a fucking gun player,
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to do well again. Maybe he thinks he's going to come to Bendigo for another couple of easy wins. I don't know. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. So, Storm Bros, Tristan, is this the list you took? Is this the list you took to Sydney?
Yep.
Yeah, you want to talk us through how it works?
All right, so basically you've got a block of 4 casters. Sticking with no Storm Host. Got asked a few times up in Sydney what the Storm Host was, and a bit of shock when I said, no, I don't want one, mate.
Rather have Staunch Defender, thanks.
Yeah, exactly, Staunch Defender. I'll take that any day. So aim is 4 casters rocking a 1-up save. Throw 4 models on terrain, and you're getting +1 to your casting. You're getting +2 to your save. Being dispatched back with -1 D3 damage in melee, so they can put a bit of hurt on you if you want to come near them. But overall, the basic aim of the list is to dish out as many mortals as possible with a Stormcast army. You've got your 4 casters, so you've got 4 spells going off. You've got your Comet going down every turn, hopefully. Getting it cast and then dispelling it and then casting again in the following turn. Your Knight, your Celestin, that's just more spells with your the Comet Scepter that he's got. And again, because it's not a ranged weapon, it's an ability, so he's still coming down. He's still retreating and running and still pumping out those mortals. And then you've got the lib blobs with the Judicators. They're basically just, shaft screens all bundled up into one nice battalion. In Sydney, the maximum I got killed was, I think, the Celestin died twice out of 5 times, but most people are only killing 1 or 2 lib blobs and maybe a Judicator squad. So it's the normal Stormcast last ability, but with a lot of mortal output coming in behind.
Yeah.
So the key with this list is it's not actually an army. I'm just going to toot my horn here a bit. This is my list, and I designed it to sort of neuter armies. So then you're essentially playing a skirmish game after the 3rd round, and I only played one game with it. Tristan took it to Sydney, and you went 4-1 with it, which was just amazing. What I really like about this, though, and people underestimate it, is the oh shit panic button that it's got in reserve, which is the pendulum paired up with the Arcanum's command ability. So if a whole heap of shit gets danger close and you've got a big line of enemy units, you drop that pendulum out and you throw all of your command points at it just to give it D6 extra move every time. And it's just going to go boom, 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 clean up a whole heap of shit. I love this list.
That pendulum threat actually stopped one bloke from lining all his 9-horn up. And he just went, oh, if you get that off or you activate that pendulum, I'm fucked.
Yep.
All that deep strike, and that's the thing. A lot of people, everyone's got that 9-inch thing, so they all hug that 9-inch line, and that's a nice long line. You just throw that pendulum out, spin him around, and bang, 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 down the line to go.
Like couple of failed charges off a deep striking alpha strike, and you're clipping a whole heap of units.
Sixes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, like I'll look at that list. It really is just a hard counter for my list. I mean, half of what I've designed into my list is reliability. By the time I actually get to even try and do my strike, all my heroes with 6 wounds, they're not going to be there to actually give me my reliability. I no longer have my extra movement. I no longer, I can't cast me cogs. Basically, it's done.
Yeah. I found that with a lot of the games that, 3 drops? So it's a 3-drop list, betting a lot of many other drops, and just getting that first turn, those comets and those spells, half your hero blocks were dead. Like, people just, it was, I can't buff this, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can only move forward. And then that next turn, whatever survived, generally dead, and then after that, it's just mop up.
Yep. And talking about Stormcast armies that do mortal wounds at infinite range, Bianca has bag here. I love this army.
Yeah, you know what this page is? It's just my models.
Yeah.
So Bianca, she's the new kid on the block, and she's decided that she would take a loner army to help us out. So I just wrote her some nice, easy filth for her to play with, basically.
Yeah. I love it. Those Drakesworn Templars are a snip. When the General Sam dropped, I thought we'd see a lot more of them than what we have, but then I guess Evocators came and everyone's gone that way.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about this one, Luke?
Yeah, look, obviously you've got your positives for casting from the Star Drakes there. You've got the Comet. A lot of your, I suppose you say your Chafia type armies, they're not going to get through the Star Drakes.
No.
I mean, whether someone can slow them down to keep them off an objective, but no, look, there's a lot of damage there, and I reckon they'll be hard to kill. And it should certainly be a fun list to go up against. It'll look good. Yeah, and it's probably a very, very good starting army, actually, for someone just starting the game. Should be a nice, fun way to get her into the hobby.
I think so. I think it'd be great to play against.
Yeah. Look, people say, fucking 3 Star Drakes. It's, we're not playing 40k. 3 Star Drakes isn't actually competitive at all. No. It's fun. And games tend to go quick because there's so few models.
Yeah. You used to run them in the battalion, didn't you?
Yeah, back in the day. That was my first BadgerCon army, actually.
Yeah, GH16 days. That was a good list to play against.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. So we've seen the Stormcast. Now let's take a look at the Yawncast. We've got Sureheart, we've got Sequitors, we've got more Sequitors, we've got Evocators, we've got more Evocators, we've got Ballistas, we've got more Ballistas. I mean, look, this is Warhammer in the missionary position. Nothing against, like, Chris, great guy. I love your show. Nathaniel, don't know you personally, and look, if I'd got a new book which had obviously very strong units at a very efficient price, I'd spam the shit out of them too. So if I sound bitter and jealous, it's because I am. I tell the Celestin Prime's the one that I like. I think out of the two, they are similar lists in some ways. I like the Celestin Prime. I think it's an underused piece. Everything about its rules gives you that little bit of flexibility about when you use it and when you make the decisions. I mean, I think he's legit as mortal wound artillery alone, and then obviously just the points of his war scroll where you have to make those choices. It all works in your favour. So I think in a good player's hands, he's really, really useful.
His melee ability added up with his speed and his range models make him a fairly dangerous model.
Yep. See, people make the mistake of playing him incorrectly, in my opinion, as well. You don't send him into the heart of your enemy army. You send him to a flank and kill something that he actually has a chance of doing.
Yeah.
And then just dropping rain and fucking mortals. You know,
and
that's what he does.
The dice chains he's got, that thing pays for itself every game.
Oh, yeah.
100%. 100%.
Like, you need to get 3 mortals on a model, just guaranteed it straight away with that one dice roll. Yep, he's dead. Bye.
And most of the games you want to bring him down and whack something, but if you come up against the Gore Pilgrims, you'll take them off before they get to you. Yeah. Before the core army hits you, you'll take them off over 2 turns, and he's then 600 points core part of his army gone.
Yep.
Right. So flexible, very, very strong. So we have 2 good armies. Which one do people prefer out of the 2?
I'm going to say Chris's.
Yeah,
it's more tailored for the competitive scene. Nathaniel as well. This is going to be his first main tournament. He's a young bloke from Bendigo who's been hanging out with us. So he's gone out and brought pretty much a new Stormcast army, I think. So,
yep,
yeah. Been busy painting him.
What I really want to see is I want to see those evocators touchstone. They will just be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, 30 dice, mortals.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't killed you in combat. Doesn't matter. Here's 30 dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing with Chris's list as well. So yeah, I saw was pictures posted up the other night. Obviously didn't look like they were being finished yet, but it's going to be one heck of a good looking army once he's done.
Yeah, a lot of conversions too. Sully Prime's a Nightbringer, I'm pretty sure, from the Necrons.
Yep. It's going to be a really good looking army when he's got that finished.
Yep.
Cool. And then we'll have the Daughters of Cain. Yeah. Jesse Perkins, that swashbuckling hero from which side of the border is he actually from?
I think he's from the Dong, but he's living in Albury now.
Yeah, okay.
He can fucking live in Dubbo too, for all I care.
What I noticed about this one, and it's maybe the only one at the tournament, he's took Olgu without a doppelganger cloak.
He's a brave man.
He is a brave man. He's a bloody good player as well, and a great bloke, great guy to play against. I've had the pleasure of meeting Jesse a few times now.
Another amazingly painted army too. I know he puts a lot of pride and joy into an effort into his models. I think he just won armies on parade too in the Albury Storm. So, yeah.
I think I saw that on Facebook. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Next level.
Yeah. So good luck to you, Jesse. I think you're going to have a good tournament, mate.
Yeah. And then Lockie, another one of the dwellers. Thanks for making the trip up from Melbourne, boys. You're always welcome.
Cakey.
Yeah. Daughters of Cain seems to be the flavour of the month for those boys.
They all run it.
They all run it.
They all play with the same models as well, don't they?
The Warlocks, is this is his temple the teleporting one, Calebron?
Yep.
So he's going to teleport those Warlocks and do a straight 6 mortals is probably his turn 1 game plan.
Yeah, straight 6 and then shoot some Jeff.
It's quite a shitty army for a Daughter's army, isn't it? Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Warlocks, like I think they got 2 shots each. Might only be like 4s and 4s or whatever, but they can knock some cheap shit off the table.
Yeah, I mean, for a wizard, it's a bit of chip damage, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
they'll get a bonus to the unbinds for being a squad of 10 too. So, yeah,
Oh, so
having
you'll
them work around the side, around your wizards, ain't going to be pretty.
So yeah, he's going to drop them into your end zone, take one of your support heroes off, and then fuck with your magic phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of an unusual daughters build actually, but they both are. It's not daughters that came by numbers.
It's good. Hashtag
Yeah,
innovation. Saying some new shit.
Good on them.
Good to see how it handled.
This one had me looking up a war scroll though. Hands up, who's seen Blackguard before?
No.
No. Tristan, you played
No.
against
Sorry, Blackguard. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Yeah.
It's just Dark Elf battle line.
Yeah, reasonably elite. But not,
4 up saves, rend and 2-inch range on their weapons, I'm pretty sure.
Freeze and freeze or something, I think.
They're cheap for what they are. They're fucking cheap. Well, 70 points for 5.
Is there any kind of synergy for them?
What are they? Not Scourge Privateers, whatever the fuck they're from. They're from Dark Elves. Darkling Covens. I'm pretty sure there's some synergy. There's a battalion for them, which I think's pretty good too.
Don't think there's any synergy in the army for them, but
you got sorcerers and stuff like that on dragons and shit. So
yeah,
there are extra attacks and there are extra bodies for his army. So interesting to see how he plays them.
Yeah. Yeah, bit of an unusual choice there. So yeah, let's see how they go. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, good to see a genuinely different Daughters of Cain list.
Yeah, no Marathis either, unless if fucking what's his name's got Marathi.
No Marathis.
Not at all.
Good.
So what do we think about the Order armies? Which one stood out?
Is that all of them? Is there?
That's all of them. That's the last one.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh shit. Okay. Look, I'm going to say I like Tristan's list because I made it.
I do like it. It's a good army.
I think one of the Daughters players are going to have a good tourney as well. I don't know which one, but maybe they might face each other and whoever wins that game gets to move on to the top tables kind of thing.
Yep.
Nick, he'll do well as well, as he does.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep, and even Tyson and his Idenef, I reckon he should have a good event as well, I reckon.
That was my pick as well. I think that it looks really solid. And when I was reading through his list and thinking about how it would work, and it does what an Ideneth army does, but in my head I was thinking about how I would tackle it with various armies of mine. And it gave me a bit to think about. I think it would be quite an interesting challenge taking on Tyson's army. I like it. Is anyone going to stick their neck out and name the top 3 on the podium?
Oh, not without mentioning myself, so no.
And not mentioning myself. So, yeah.
I mean, look, you've both got to be in the conversation. You've both got strong records locally and beyond. So leaving yourselves out of it, because you would both be in contention. Present company accepted. Who are we picking?
Dalton.
Yeah,
Dalton's a good shout.
Yep, I reckon Michael with his Nagash, he's going to be right up there. Depending on obviously how he goes round 1. That's as I said before. Depending on round 1, he'll either be on the podium or he won't be, based on that game. Yeah.
So no question, Michael. Chris Cousins and Lockie Mukaki, I think will both do well. I think both.
All the Melbourne guys are going to have a good tourney, I think.
Yep.
It's hard, isn't it? Because even though we're a smaller state in terms of Age of Sigmar competitive players, we've got the cream of the crop coming to this, don't we?
It's going to be very competitive. Very competitive. Not many easy games here, is there?
No. It may as well be a fucking mini Masters.
We've got a fair chunk of top 40, top 50 Master rank players coming to this event. So, it's a little bit smaller and in Victoria, but still going to be tough.
Yep. So if I was going to pick one army that I'd love to play against, because I think it would be a great game, I've got 2. Can I have 2?
You can have 2.
Go on.
With Alex Orr with his Siege, because he gave me my best game of AOS 2 to date last week when I played him. And I'm also going to say Corey Ford, because that corn list just blew my mind. I love it.
Yes, that's another good list. There's so many good lists here, and honestly, there's not many on this document where I can't say I genuinely don't like them.
Yeah.
yeah, I think a good 90% of these lists are fucking top notch.
Yeah. What about you, Luke and Tristan? Who's your picks?
Look,
Who would you like to play against? What would be a fun one?
I'm going to enjoy my first game. Anything after that? Look, well, this is by my last effort for Masters, so I want soft games. So the weakest list, I'll
It's
take
the wrong
it.
tournament to be going to for fucking soft games, mate.
Yeah.
Like if I draw Joel, Corey, and Pat and Dalton, I'll just shoot myself right there.
You'll be actually one of the house rules. So one of the realm rules that we're playing with is we're playing in the realm of bogans. If you get tabled by turn 3, then you get brought a drink. So you might be shit faced by the end of day 1.
Yeah.
Or I might be broke.
A couple of stats for you. I got in terms of the realms that people picked. Hish was the most popular with 7.
Of course.
We had 6 different realms represented. Nobody took Gur because that's Destruction's home realm, so of course it has to be fucking rubbish. 7 people took Hish. Probably not a surprise that it's the most popular. 4 people took Ulgu. Again, it's got some real strong stuff. Shayesh was joint second with Ulgu on 4. Then you had Akshay on 3, Gairan on 2, Shamon on 2, and then we had 2 people from the realm of should have read the fucking player pack. And Nathaniel Forrest looks to be them. Yeah. Any surprises there? I thought Akshay might have been a little bit higher than Shayesh. Personally, I thought I would have had that kind of second, third with Ulgu.
I guess it really comes down to the list, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Akshay's filling a big hole for a lot of the non-battle tone spells with buffs, whereas Highish is giving you banishment, basically.
Yeah. Well, banishment, but also the command ability to jump first. That's
that fucks people if you don't expect it.
Yeah.
That, for me personally, well, me and my list, that command ability, that's like, I'm a caster army, so like, who cares if I strike first? For me, it's banishment. It's like, you're gonna hit me with that big alpha striker or that big fuck off monster. Well, he's going to the other side of the table. And bye.
I actually like the new banishment. I think that little tweak they did in the FAQ, I think it's such a good thing for the game. I think it should be in every pack. Yeah. So that's the end of the list. We've hopefully not put too many people's noses out of joint. I think it's going to be a super competitive event. It's going to be a super competitive event. Wish I could be there.
In a good way, though, I think, as well. I think everyone that's coming that I know of are all decent blokes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's not like we're from Melton or anything, so yeah.
Anything else anyone's got to say to sign off?
There's not much to say after that comment.
Yeah.
Could say fuck you, Melton.
They're already in the car on their way here.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Hey, guys, wish I could be there on Saturday. Got other stuff that stops me being there. You're going to have a great weekend. You've put a lot of work in to make this a special one. I know the goodie bag caught a lot of people's attention. The stubby holders.
How good. Fucking tournament giving away stubby holders. Awesome. Yeah. Everyone's a winner.
That should be a thing.
Yeah.
And Saturday night, you've got some fun planned as well. You got.
Yeah, we're doing a pub quiz trivia sort of thing. So I haven't worked out exactly how we're going to go about that yet, but it should be a fun time. It's not going to be serious. Playing for jugs or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was an idea. Yeah.
And Tristan, do you want to kick Destruction in the dick one last time?
I'm just looking forward to the box of models you're going to buy me.
Yeah. You want to tell people what that's about?
I forcibly entered into a bet, and someone actually screenshot what the bet was. So I have to wait until the end of the month. And if they haven't released a Moon Clan battle tome, a specific Moon Clan battle tome, I win.
You win.
I'm getting away, Pete.
Yeah, we've got a box of models on it. And yeah, I'm going to be buying you some evocators or something filthy like that, aren't I?
Oh, I won't be Stormcast.
No. Nah, if I was in your position, I'd be pretty confident. I have to say at this late stage for sure.
Yeah, well, actually, what is up with that fucking October? Been no fucking Orcs. I mean, you got Speed Freak shit, but yeah, no AOS love. Anyway.
No, I got my grots came today though. My Zarbag skits. They came in the mail. The colour of an Essendon player's sample. I'm gonna have to get them painted quick. Yeah. So guys, honestly, it's going to be a great weekend. Great event. I'm going to be looking forward to the coverage. Are you going to be streaming it all on Facebook, Joel?
Probably not streaming, just uploading a shitload of photos. I'm just going to pretty much give Sean my phone, and he can take over the measured account on Facebook. We'll see what happens.
No.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Oh no!
He would be the shit stirrer on Facebook, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
he'd be up there for sure. Right, guys, have a great weekend. It's going to be a great event, and I look forward to the rundown afterwards.
Thanks, mate.
Sounds
See
good.
you soon.
Talk to you soon.
See us on the weekend.
See you, mate.